Welcome back. Let's discuss the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem, or theorem of Pythagoras. This theorem is named after the Greek mathematician Pythagoras. So Pythagoras is a human being. Right, the Pythagoras theorem is used a lot in algebra, trigonometry, measurement, analytical geometry, and even in Euclidean geometry. So we use this theorem a lot. So we need to understand how to deal with this theorem. Right, but before we go to the theorem, we need to understand the right-angled triangle, because the Pythagoras theorem only applies to the right-angled triangle. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with a 90-degree angle like this one. Okay, and then when you look at the right-angled triangle, we have a side that is called the hypotenuse. All right, what is the hypotenuse? This is the side which is opposite the 90-degree angle. And then also the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle. So we have to understand this. The hypotenuse is the longest side of the right angle triangle. It is the side that is opposite the right angle. But before we look at the theorem, I want us to discuss this because we're going to use it a lot. How do we name the sides of a triangle? Let's say we have this vertex being called A, and then this one being B, and then this one C. So we can name the sides as AB, like this side is AB, and then this side BC, this side BC, and then this side being AC. Right? If we have a right angle here, then AB is the hypotenuse. Right, the other way of naming the sides of a triangle is to use the small letters. Now, how to use the small letters? The small letters and the angle must be opposite to each other. Like we have capital letter A here, which represents this angle. So this side, which is opposite angle A, will use the small letter A, like that. Okay, if we look at B, we have this angle B here. And then this side, which is opposite angle B, we name it using small letter B, like that. And then we have our right angle, 90 degrees, and then it is opposite the hypotenuse. So in this case, the hypotenuse is small letter C. All right, so this is how we name the sides of a triangle. Now let's go to the theorem. What does the Pythagoras theorem say? Right, we have these sides of a triangle here. We have AC being the hypotenuse, because it is the longest side, and also it is the side which is opposite the right angle. And then we have side AB, which is also named C. We have side BC, which is also named A. Right, let's look at the theorem. In a right angle triangle, right? And then what are we talking about? So if you check every theorem, you have to check what you're talking about here. We're talking about the square of the hypotenuse. You're talking about the square of the hypotenuse. So we're saying AC squared, B squared. Okay. And then what is it about the square of the hypotenuse? The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Right? We're talking about the square of the hypotenuse. It is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That's what the Pythagoras theorem says. As easy as that. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum. We know what the sum is. Sum we're adding is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So meaning that the square of the hypotenuse, which is AC squared, isn't it, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Meaning that AB squared plus BC squared. And then you write your reason Pythagoras. Always write your reason. This is your statement. Then this is the reason. Also, you can write your reason as theorem of Pythagoras. But I prefer this one because it is shorter. So I'll be using this one. Just to write Pythagoras is enough. Right? If you want to use the small letters, you can do that. We can say B squared is equal to C squared plus A squared. That's Pythagoras theorem. So this is the Pythagoras theorem. So as we continue with our lessons, we're going to look at examples where we're going to be applying the Pythagoras theorem.